My name is Russel Costanzo. I got into filmmaking late 90s. Went to NYU, and I'd always been into films and a fan of movies growing up. Probably Reservoir Dogs and Goodfellas are two of the films that inspired me to be a filmmaker. And particularly Scorsese made me want to go to NYU, and Coen Brothers, Spike Lee. So I went to film school and shot a number of short films. The Tested is my first feature. And the road to The Tested was, we shot a short film that The Tested was based on. And it actually ties back to NYU, because when I was going to NYU, at the time, there was a surge of some gang activity where the initiation was they would have to walk up to somebody and slash them in the face. And I just remember, and it was happening on the subways at the time. I was taking the subways, and I remember just being really shooken up by how just profoundly violent that was. And it's one of those things that it just never going to occur to you. There's a societal bond, and that someone would just break that bond. I don't know, it really affected me. And so I stayed with that story for a while, and over the years I developed it and decided to raise the stakes from slashing someone in the face to shooting someone in a public place in broad daylight. And so that was the short film. And then I met someone, Rodney Parther, maybe 6 or 7 years later, and he was doing short films. He was looking to finance shorts, which is so rare, getting a short film financed. So we did the short with him, had some great success, went to the LA Shorts Fest, won top prize, $60,000 prize package, which was pretty amazing. What they do is they give you a time stamp on it, essentially, where you have 2 years to use the prize package or it'll expire. So if ever there's anything that will motivate you to get up off your ass and go shoot something, knowing that you get 2 years, So we were looking for stories to expand it, some other angle. And around that time, the Sean Bell incident, and this isn't based on Sean Bell or anything, but I feel like those types of stories happen every couple of years. There's a big one that'll happen and get everybody talking. So we took that angle and we expanded the short into a feature. And that's kind of how The Tested came about. So The Tested is about a plainclothes cop who shoots and kills an unarmed teen, and it's the effect and the aftermath that it has on the teen's family, the teen's mom and brother, and then the cop, and how he's dealing with it and dealing with the guilt of what he's done, and how all three people try to come to some kind of understanding and resolution. And we were very lucky to get Frank Vincent from The Sopranos and Goodfellas. He came on early on, and we were then able to get Anjanou Ellis, who was just amazing, and I had an amazing time working with her, to play Darylyn, the mom. And Armando Riasco played the cop, and Michael Morris, this is basically his kind of debut film, played Dre, the brother, and this guy really is somebody to look out for. He's a gem, and I don't know, I expect really amazing things from him. And then we also have Tobias Trevelyan, who plays James, and he is amazing. He's dynamite in this film, and really kind of blew my doors off. And actually, interesting story about him. He came into the audition, and he came in character. He was playing the gang leader. He came in character, and he was just so super intense. He had a little teardrop tattoo that he put on, and he had this rolled up. I mean, I assume it was fake, but it looked like some blunt with him, and he was just completely in character, and brooding and kind of moody, and didn't really get right into the scene. Just kind of took his time, and we were all like, "Holy crap, this guy is amazing!" And then after he came over and he gave me his reel, and he said, "Hey, check this out." And I went home, I checked it out, and he was on soap operas, and he was this totally smooth and handsome, and I was like, "What? That's that guy?" I could not believe. Just seeing that alone is when I was like, "All right, I have to cast this guy. his range is that amazing. I was like, I gotta have this guy in the film. So, yeah, you know, I mean, I don't want to think I'm making like a message movie, you know, or trying to tell people, you know, finger pointing or anything like that. But there is definitely a fundamental, the foundation of the film is, it speaks upon the cycle of violence. And, you know, that I feel like is something that people will walk out of the film, you know, affected by, and they'll feel, you know, something about that, you know. You know, certainly there, you know, we've seen plenty of gang films, plenty of black gang films, but I feel like this one's different in that there's really no glorifying of it at all. I mean, it's actually kind of a bummer. The ending is kind of a bummer. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it, but it's a tragedy, and you know, in order to have that kind of impact at the end, I felt like it needed to be tragic, and I don't know, it's pretty intense. It's an intense film, you know, but one that I'm very proud of.